Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending from where and when you are watching this episode. In this episode, I want to talk about one Japanese player that I have been following not so long ago, but I'm looking at some of his games and I looked at some of his old videos and skills. And I was interested to making some dedicated analysis on this player. The Japanese player in question is called Koken Koreoki. It's a very amazing name in my opinion. um, so hopefully I will showcase three matches that he has played with his new team. Apparently they're playing him as a left back. Originally I saw some of his footage. He was a midfielder playing primarily in the attacking midfielder or shadow striker position and in the left winger and sometimes right wing. So it will be interesting to see how he adapts in the left back. So with that, let's get rolling to this episode. All right. So here is his profile. It took me a little bit of hours to put all these stuff together, figure out what the data is and so forth. So I had to go on a couple of sites um, and grab some data from there because there wasn't a lot of data on him. But anyways, this is what I compiled about him, right? Obviously his name, Koken Koryoki from Tokyo, Japan, 26 years old, and some things maybe you want to know, maybe not, but his height is 171 meters. And like I said, mainly he plays as a central midfielder, and his preferred foot is left. So the one that he shoots with, one that he crosses with, is probably his left foot. And you can see here he speaks Japanese, English, and somewhat of Bulgarian. He's played in more than four clubs, but these four main clubs, or you can say five main clubs that are listed, were the ones that had more information than the other clubs. He played in the J League, which is the Japanese football league, and he played in Bulgaria, and he played in Oman, and now he's playing in Georgia, which is another league that I'm covering in a different series. And actually, because I'm covering him, I got interested in covering in that series. So it's nice how life works out. But you can see here, these are the main clubs that he played with, at least the ones that had a lot of data on them. You can see that he's a midfielder. He's played 24 matches for Lea Athletic FC, and he's made only six goals for that team. Lokomotiv, he played 12 and made only 4 goals. And FC Diechenhofen, which is a German team. So he was actually part of, I think, either the Bundesliga or the second division in the Bundesliga. And he only played 4 matches on that team. And then he became a free transfer to Shukura, which is the Georgian team in the Georgian league. And this is a 1 day outdated. It says 3 games, but actually there were 4 games starting yesterday morning. The fourth game was played and they lost. But he played in all 4 games. This says three. So far, he did not make an assist. He did not make a goal for the 3 that I've watched. I'm not sure about the fourth, so I need to go and watch that and do a match analysis on it. But so far, for the 3 games, he's played as a left back. And we'll talk about that. His overall strength, from what I saw, he has a high determination. So when he loses the ball or when he's playing on the field, I see that he automatically switches and gets back to his feet and tries to put the pressure on the opponent or put the pressure against the opponent. I think his natural fitness so far, I've seen him played the 90 minutes, maybe one match he was substituted. I'm not sure about the fourth match yet, but the three matches he's played, at least for the three matches he has played up to the 74th minute. One match he was substituted in the 74th minute. The other two matches he played all 90 minutes. Agility and acceleration and pace. All three of them, you can see it in his movement and his positioning and how he covers the field, right? So I think he has good agility and acceleration and pace. Again, his work rate is dependent on his determination. So I think his work rate is, I would say, average on the field. So, or maybe a little bit above average. But his work rate is good on the field. I mean, he does not walk around. Um, he's always trying to be in positions where he does not have anyone marking him, even though he's a left back. I think that comes from his um, game when he was playing as a central midfield. And his technique of the ball, and I would say positioning, I like to lump all three of those together as well. His technique, you'll see it in some of the passes he makes. His off the ball, you will also see it when he's not on the ball and the position he gets into. And his positioning is dependent on the off the ball, right? So when he doesn't have the ball, how does he move around, right? You will see all that in his performance. And then aggression, really, aggression is not a negative thing. Aggression is just when you have to be a little bit aggressive to get the ball back, to be determined, and so forth. And I guess stamina is part of the agility, natural fitness, acceleration, and pace, right? His dribbling skills, um, I would say, is average, right? I'm not gonna say Messi or Ronaldo, but his dribbling skills and first touch are very good. You'll see them also. And these are the overall strengths for this guy. His best roles, like I said, would, in my opinion, after watching some of his previous video and the three matches I've seen, I believe he would be best suited for an advanced playmaker attacking position just by the off the ball and the positioning and how he passes the ball. You will see it. Winger support or winger attacking. I think from his acceleration and pace, he should be able to play as a left winger as well. Um, I know that his crossing needs a little bit of working, but I mean, a little bit is not is doable, right? So if he does the crossing, I think he will be a good additional person on the left wing. But I think in his current team, the left winger, who's the South African, I think the South African, in my opinion, probably better plays there, unless the coach would change the South African, play him as a central forward because he's fast and he has pace and he can shoot, and play Koryoki as a left wing. I don't know what the coach is thinking because he's playing him as a left back. So probably what's happening is he doesn't have a good left back with good dribbling skills. So he's playing Koryoki in that position in hopes to be something like a Andy Robertson, which is not a bad thing at all. But anyways, the inverted winger and the inverted winger, both the ones that are support and attack, are the same as the winger, except the inverted winger would cut inside rather than cutting outside. So instead of cutting outside and doing the cross from the outside to the 18-yard line, he will cut inside and do the through ball either on the ground or chip it over the defender that way. So, and he takes more shots from around the area. That's the inverted winger. Shadow striker, by the name of it, he's the shadow of the striker. So the striker is here. He's a little bit behind the striker, so he's not actually a striker, but in some cases he will be behind the striker. So maybe they can do a 1-2, bam, goal, or he can give it to the striker 1-2, and the striker puts in a goal. So he's usually behind the striker. Um, so he's usually gonna be somewhere around in this area here. I wish I can mark it in a red rectangle, but I can't. Um, I did put DM and and CM, central midfielder and defending midfielder, because it's part of the midfield. I think, um, like I said, probably advanced playmaker would be good, depending on how he was passing and how I saw the passing. But anyways, these are some of the positions he has played, and the left back, the LB, is the one that he's playing now. And I put there automatic. Automatic means he goes in the attack and he returns in the defense. He goes in the attack and he returns in defense. So you can imagine him running the whole field, more or less. So that is his positioning, what I think about his best roles, some of his overall strength, um, the different clubs he played in, his age, some of the statistics on his height, what foot he plays with. The only thing we did not cover is just his fee. So he's worth, as of the 5th of January 21, this was updated. Gonna find any new data on that. But he is worth. So if someone would want to buy him from this team, he would have to pay 25,000 euros, unless his contract ends and then he's a free transfer. But that will be the minimum price that is recorded so far. There was nothing for 2022 and 2023 that I've seen. So if someone wants to buy him, it will be around this range. So if a club wants to buy him, pretty much. And this is just his professional profile information. You can actually check him out on the transfer market. He's there, so you can see him, and all these stats will be there also. All right, let's take a look at the first play. This is him right here as a left back. This was the first game, and you will see here that he is right there, and he's seeing someone that is open right outside of the frame, that we do not see. So he's going actually to pass the ball in that direction to this guy there. Look at that. He was free. He gets the ball and they start on the attack. But what I like, and you saw right there, look at this when he comes back. He's right there from all the way in the defense. He sprinted, I don't know how many meters he sprinted, but he sprinted pretty much 2/3 of the pitch right now. And then look at him. He's right there in the open space in the penalty box. I mean, amazing, in my opinion. And that just showcases his pace and acceleration. He's in the spot. This shows the positioning and the of the ball that we mentioned. Unfortunately, the cross did not get to him, but as you can see, he's right in front of goal. I don't think he's gonna miss it if the ball came anywhere around him. I don't think he was gonna miss it, in my opinion. But unfortunately, this defender heads the ball out for a corner. But that was a great moment I wanted to showcase for him. Here again, look at him. He's off the ball. He's here. He's going to be moving around this area just to get into space, waiting for someone to pass the ball to him. He passes the ball in the front, okay? And he's just, because a player doesn't need to run the full 90 minutes, but you can see that he sees this guy and he sees the empty pocket, and he's going into the empty pocket right now. So he moves up, he gets the ball. Look at this. He tries to play the through ball to this attacker. I mean, probably it's gonna curve this way, in the intention that the attacker, if I'm not mistaken, what I was taught when I was a little bit younger, the attacker shouldn't have his back to goal, but if he was facing maybe the goal a little bit, maybe he could have flipped inside. But you will see here that he passes the ball and it does the curvage. He passes it to attacker. Ideally, you would want the attacker to get the ball, turn and go in this area right here. So this is the intention, and then he can shoot it from this area. I think he can shoot it from here, maybe score, maybe get a deflection or something. But unfortunately, his touch was not good. And then let's see here. Here he's forming one of the triangles. Look at this. And then he has the ball. So he has a couple of options. The only one I see, that's why I did the dashed line, is this one here. A through ball, a low through ball to this guy, Mizwak Ali. But I drew another line because after this clip, I saw that he had a vision for the attacker that was actually in a better position. So you'll see here, he's gonna do the through ball right there. Again, this is what I said. Maybe he can work on his crossing, but I mean, I think it was a great pass actually. Unfortunately, it was. I don't know. It was overshot. Maybe this guy wanted to stop it instead of actually running with it. I think if he ran with it, maybe there's space right there. This guy is away from him. This guy is away from him. This guy is running this way. I know it's about karaoke, but some of the decisions come from this, right? Why did he pass it to him and not him? It looks like this guy has more free area and he's not tightly marked. So maybe that was the decision there. So it was a nice pass, I think. Um, Unfortunately, he did not capitalize on it. Let's take a look here. This is probably a defensive moment. He's right there. This is the karaoke. And he will try to put the pressure on. Look at that. He's marking him. Well, not tightly marking, but he is forcing him to go back, right? But the shape of his body is telling him he has to pass it to this guy. He does not have any option here. So now he passes it to this guy. He knows there's an empty spot there. He goes and recovers his spot. And then again, he's pushing this guy back. I mean, this is 1-1 defensing. So in defense, he was pretty decent in some plays. Now here he has, I mean, he has three players around him. This is a difficult situation because this guy is not marking him. This guy is not marking him. No one's marking him. This guy is here. So who is he gonna mark? I think he marks this area here because he can't mark three people at the same time. So I think he has to be with the one that's more probable to be in the danger spot. Then once the players come to formation, he goes back to his position and tries to push this guy out. So he does this cross. Now, obviously, he has to come and cover this empty spot just in case this guy is going to head it to this guy. Um, so you'll see here, he'll go back to that empty spot right there. And then this guy, if he headed it in the area here, he would have it. These two are pretty much marked by these three. So I think in defensive, he's covering his area quite well. Okay, let's take a look at the next move here. Okay, now this one is just me being nitpicky. They have to shift, right? So this guy has to mark that one. This guy, Karaoke, has to mark one of these two. Obviously, he can't mark both, but he has to mark one. So they just have to shift to the side. Now this one here, I think it's kind of a mistake. Um, this guy is wide open. I mean, if there was someone here that he can pass to and he can cross it, probably he'll have some time to get the ball. But he's marking this guy because this fellow in the middle is not marking him. So again, you have to pick who to mark. You can't mark both players. So ideally, this person would mark him. Koryoki would mark him. This person would shift here to mark this guy. Maybe this guy even can come in to mark him. Like there's a couple of decisions that can happen here. But I think here for him to mark him, in my opinion, is not correct. Um, he should probably mark this guy. And obviously this guy is also not marking correctly. And these two are like marking him. So the defense should shift, right? Anyways, enough about that. But that was one moment where I think, again, probably playing as a left back for the first match, um, it's okay. It happens. All right. Here I think there is a penalty call. Let's see why I picked this one here. All right. So again, here is Koryoki defending on this guy, putting the pressure on, and he has two people here, so they have a good defensive play. He puts the pressure. I mean, he still crosses the ball. It's okay. And then the penalty happens. I think he still did his job to get in front of the player. Unfortunately, the cross went through, but anyways, it happens. So here he is again. He puts a little bit of pressure, and right away he sees the pass. He comes back to cover his area, which is right here, and then he manages to intercept the ball. and put it in the out, which is good. So the other team does not attack, right? So that's what we can expect from him. And then look at this. He's all the way empty here. No one's marking him. Probably if he gets the ball, he can start to dribble and walk around. And then he sees these two guys here, so he tries to pass to them. Fortunately, it's a miss pass, but the vision is there. Maybe just not the execution. And then it sometimes happens. Even a lot of great players try to pass the ball and it doesn't work. Here he's covering his area. Look at this. He's putting pressure on this guy, which is pretty cool. And then here he's already marking this guy right now. And you will see as soon as he marks him, he's gonna go back to his empty spot in this empty pocket here to cover his back. Here he's covering this one. This guy is supposed to cover this one. He's not supposed to pass between these two. Uh, no one's covering him now, so Karaoke has to come back, which he does, and we saw it. So that was the first match I saw. Again, I think maybe obviously he's been doing the preseason and the training and so forth in this position for this particular team, so he has some experience before the match, maybe in friendlies and so forth, and in training and some sessions. But again, you're taking a midfielder and you're trying to put him as a left back. It's not gonna take like 1 or 2 matches, right? It's gonna take probably three, four, five, maybe six, seven, 10 matches to get in the mood. Anyways, so I think he didn't do bad. He did good, in my opinion, as a left back for the first couple of matches. We saw that I think, in my opinion, he's more on the. He wants to get in the attack, but because he's a left back or defender, he I think he kind of limits himself a little bit. We saw one attack in the beginning where he did the through ball, the diagonal through ball, and then he went and from from end to end, and he was in the open space in the area. But other than that one, we did not see him really do a lot of these during the match. So let's take a look at match number two. Look at this pitch; it's very interesting. So he's right here. This is Karaoke right there. Look at that. No one's marking him, of course. He's a midfielder or a left back. So he's trying to get into space. But like I said, I think he's not overcommitting to the attack. It would be nice if he does like Robertson and Alexander Arnold, where he is more involved in the attack. Look at that again. One, two, three. He's all alone. Probably he needs to commit to this area here. But so far, I mean, it's normal. Not a lot of left backs commit to the attack, anyways. But you can see he tries to open up to make the pitch wide, right? So let's see. Now he's trying to get involved into attack. He's looking at this empty space. He needs the pass here. He needs to pass here, but unfortunately he does not pass it. He passes it on the other side with all these other players marking. Here's the cross, not so bad. There's Karaoke in the space. Probably if someone could pass it here to him, maybe he can take it and do something, but this guy decides to shoot. I mean, I would be frustrated as well, to be honest with you. Um, Here's another play. Again, he's trying to run. I think he's getting more into the mood of becoming more on the attacking and defending, both attacking and searching to defend. Here is another play where he's trying to stretch out the field, and look at that. Stretching out the field is actually a good thing to do because then the defense will have many pockets, right? So this guy is gonna probably drag this guy here. This guy is probably gonna drag this guy here. So he's gonna find one of them that has an opening. And look at that. He passes to this guy. One, two, three. He can probably pass it back. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too much, so he doesn't get there in time. But it's still a throw in. Here again, he's in the middle. He's in the central field. Look at that. He takes the ball here. Look at this beautiful vision. Um, Look at this beautiful vision. He sees Mizwak Ali. He sees that Mizwak Ali is already running towards goal, face to goal. All he has to do is chip it in there for Mizwak Ali. And Mizwak Ali, all he needs to do He's probably receive it and he will be in front of goal. So let's take a look at that. Look at this. Fortunately, Muswak Ali takes that decision to head it like that. It did not go goal. Here is the second half, most probably. Yes, and it's on the attack and move one more time. Look at this where he was running from. Ladies and gentlemen, people, look at this from the half center yard line all the way to that wing right there. Muswak Ali is supposed to read that he's coming this way. He's supposed to play the ball in front of him. This is a mistake on Muswak Ali's part. He plays it behind him. Again, it would have been a good opportunity. Look at him right now in his defensive mode. Look at this. He's already committed to this guy here. He does not let him pass. And this, again, to me, shows the aggression and determination to get the ball back. Very beautiful example of aggression and determination. Look at this one, too. Perfect play. Look at that dribbling. Look at this pass. Look at this vision. Look at this. I think he should have crossed it to this guy here. Look at that. He keeps going. He keeps going. He keeps going. He keeps going. And I think here he sees a player to pass to. So he's gonna probably pass it to Muswak Ali in the space. Look at this. Unfortunately, he does not capitalize on it. It's a very good play from him, actually. Again, he's right there. Now he's more on the second, third. Look at this. Look at this vision. Okay. Look at this vision. Tuck. Gives it to this guy. This guy does really good to turn on the ball and still maintain the possession, and then he gets fouled. He's right there. He's between two attackers and the midfielder. He has to sprint all the way back to get into position. So now what will happen is this guy and this guy, one of them is supposed to go in this area, right? So he has to cover the empty area that they will create. But anyways, the pass was too long and it did not get to the player, so they didn't need to go that far. Then he's on the other side of the pitch. I think now they're doing the shuffle. So you see one, two, three in the back. I think the right back has been involved in the attack. Um, he probably needs to wait to see if they will shuffle. But anyways, he gets the ball here, and he sees someone on the other side right there. So he does a long through ball. This guy is gonna run into the space. Look at this. He does also a little. He does good to get the ball, but unfortunately, the defender gets it before him. So maybe they need to work and practice on these moves. Alright, so let's take a look here. He takes the ball again. He tries to play it into this space here. That's why I have the arrow here. So he will try to play it into that space to this guy. This guy has all the space to run. And then he does a 1-2 here. He's Numboye from Ivory Coast. He gives it to him. And then he sees the guy. So if you see in the previous line of vision, I think he was even mentioning to him to pass it to this guy, but he never passed it. So when he receives the ball, he's gonna pass it to that guy right now. So he's gonna do the diagonal pass. Look at this diagonal pass. It's high, it's nice. It has a little bit of air, so this guy should have got into the position. Unfortunately, the defender was there, but it was a good pass, I think. Here again in defensive mode, look at him returning back to the left back position and trying to cover his area. Look at that, very nice interception. And then he plays it in the space to Miswak Ali. Very nice. Look at this 1-2 Miswak Ali. And then he's gonna try to do the two. Very nice pass. 1-2-3. They're out of the defense. Here again a defensive move. Look at him again. I think in the second match he started to get into the mood of the left back position. So he's gonna probably cut inside in this empty area to follow this guy. But instead he follows him because the central defender is there, which is okay. He does this header here. Maybe he needs to work on heading, but he tries to recover quickly in his position. Then you have a 2-on-1 right there. I don't know what happened, but here we go, another one. Another defending moment. Very nice interception. And look at him, he's on the far post, covering this beautiful area that anyone can score from. So he does this, he passes the ball. I mean, if it's not technique, I mean, I don't know what it is. He passes the ball between one, two, three, four, five, six players. It comes to this guy here. Look at that. I mean, he does well to pass it. But look at this. Look at this sprint. Look at this sprint right there. Very nice sprint. Very nice pass. Unfortunately, he played on the other side. Here again, he's back in the defensive mode. Look at this. Very nice. He covers this guy. Look at that. Come on, Koryoki. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it right the first time. I mean, it happens to anyone. And look at this pass on before it even touches the ball. First time into the space to the guy, and it was like almost a counter attack. So that was the second match I watched. It wasn't too bad. There were some funny moments in it. You can see it in the review that will happen for it. But in this match, you can see that definitely he's got a little bit more accustomed to the left back role, which is good. Maybe he can do something like Alexander Arnold or Andy Robertson, and he can probably get to their level. He's only 26 years old, right? Alright, so let's take a look at the third match here for this team and for also Kuroki. Here they're already losing. Again, sorry for the footage, some of these leagues, because you don't have, as you can see, the facilities and the cameras and whatnot. They don't have good footage, but this was not bad, I guess. You can make out a couple of players, so it was okay. So he is our left back, so he will be this guy there on the defense. Koryuk is right there in his position. Look at this, he's gonna go in very aggressively to get the ball. He kind of puts him off balance, so the ball is loose, and then he gets the ball here. He lets it go. Again, this is positioning of the ball and vision, right? Look at him, he's right there. He has all the space. He just needs a good through ball, and Misbak Ali does it for him. Then he just needs to twiddle around, take this defender on. He does this. Unfortunately, the ball is a little bit off, so the defender kicks it for a corner. But it was a great play actually, from defense to attack. Look at him right there again. Now he's getting into the mode of attacking, right? Look at that where he is right now. It's 2-1. Again, he's attacking. Look at this. He's passing the ball, trying to penetrate the defense, and so forth. And he has the ball here. Look at these passes. Again, they're trying to penetrate the defense. Look at him right there, all alone right here. Unfortunately, this guy does not get the ball. It's a little bit too high, so he has to go and capture it. And then he has all this wing to play in, so he's gonna pass it to probably someone on the yard box line. So he's free. He passes it to this guy. He's in a good shooting opportunity, so he definitely takes the shot. Um, Unfortunately, it doesn't go in. Here is another play. Look at him. He's all the way on the wing. The ball is still not in the ground. He has the opportunity to see the goal, but probably because of his balance and how he needs to reach to get the ball, probably better off to pass it. So he will probably do that and pass it inside. So probably he's gonna pass it inside, but unfortunately there's a defender there. So the defender will get it and it will be a corner. And this was the last footage I have from this particular match. I know it's 51 minute 29, but these were the couple of moments I saw that were worthwhile to watch and look at. Again, you saw how in the third match he became more into that position. We saw him do a lot of attacking, which makes me wonder if we put him in a left winger position or advancing playmaker position, what can he offer us, right? This is up obviously to his coach and to the folks that are at the club. I don't have a say in that. So we'll just have to follow and see where he puts him and how he plays. Um, I would love to see him play in the midfield so we can compare 3-3 matches. But anyways, that's my opinion. So I will watch match number 4, hopefully, do some match analysis on there, and do some clips for him again on that particular match. But I think I should post 3 matches for him each episode. That way, there's more footage to cover, and that way I don't have to just share like 5 minute clips on YouTube. I will see what I'll do there. Anyways, so with that, like always, I'd like to say thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next episode, whatever that will be, and take care.